Kongling managed to kite towards safety thanks to the Pure Sky and the heal coming in from Wave Pit and also the Swift Strike's ultimate. Next play, Shren gets taken out, and ZanQ and team wants to go for that mid-tier 1. Hence, that's why you see the pressure coming in. But Muchi clicks on towards his spells, gets that assassination on towards ZanQ, meaning it's a 1-for-1 trade with no structural damage in that mid lane.
Yeah, this is one thing that we've seen from ZanQ though, is that sometimes he gets a little out of position. It's just relying a little bit too much on his mobility. And Nova Esports have some answers. I mean, Muchi is kind of mobile in and of itself. Wave Pit is kind of annoying with those bitter farewells and that control, which kind of locks you down. So ZanQ needs to play a little bit safer, ensuring that he stays alive more than anything else. You can't give up any kills.
That was a big annihilation as well on towards the face of Genmith, but timer is still available. 15 seconds until the shadow objective spawn for both teams. We see Nova Esports taking the aggressive end on towards the top side, potentially looking for the trade on the Shadow Overlord.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to fortify the area first. BIGETRON right now understanding that, hey, F1, he just needs to stand out in front. Somebody wants to go, he's going to push them all back. But now they're going to look to go for the Tyrant. It's already at half-life. F1 getting a little bit low himself, needs to be careful. Kongling eating some damage in terms of that, but they get the Tyrant. ZanQ is going to pick that one up. And now the heroic charge by Xuan. The Stampede is going to be on point. They find Kongling as well as the Tyrant in a great turn of events for BIGETRON.
The advantage of the draft coming in by BTR, much more solid, much more crowd control, has a proper front line. You saw how difficult it was for Kongling to actually approach to that Shadow Tyrant pit. It was just easy stuff for ZanQ to hit that smite, and then it allowed for the side of BTR to take that fight with the added advantage of the Shadow Tyrant. With the goal lead of 2,000 and the Shadow objective, this looks pretty promising for BTR.
Yeah, it looks definitely promising. I mean, they're playing the draft exactly how you want. You have Ball, you have Genmith there to kind of control people if somebody jump in. You had F1, you know, as that forward scout if anyone were to jump in. And Kongling, again, to your point, he was not able to get in closer because they had these big bouncers up front. The security was not letting him even enter, allowing him to enter the building.
Now we have to put our focus on towards another end, right? How does scaling work for both of these teams? If we were to really observe, I think it really slightly favors BTR. The only good part of Nova's late game is Wendy on this Nuwa. If he can just max out these items, 16 minutes into his game, Wendy will be the primary carry of Nova.
Yeah, well, definitely, right? And also you have Kongling and Muchi, and that's 3 damage dealers, which I think is going to be enough to deal with BIGETRON. I mean, going into the late game, I kind of look at things of the rest of it. I mean, Genmith and Ball obviously can do damage, but they're going to be able to get bursted. They need to be careful in terms of their positioning. So they, you know, those late game team fights could potentially get bursted. And now Kongling on the run. He's going to get gone on. He gets focused down, and Genmith with that damage, they have enough. And now Xuan on the run. The rest of Nova just trying to stay alive, just hiding under that T3. But BIGETRON, again, with a nice pick off. They're going to take the Overlord as well as the Crimson at the same time.
This is the pressure of the draft. You don't have frontline, you can't face check. You need Kongling to push himself to look for the objectives, to check the bushes here. The moment he clicks in, gets CC chained by Lanfeng and Genmith, gets pounced on by ZanQ, unable to escape even if he can cartwheel twice. The pressure is starting to succumb Nova Esports in this game 1. 12 minutes on the clock, look at engage on towards Wendy.
Oh, Wendy actually already flashed. He's getting a little bit low, but he's already used the Genmith with the passive, dodging the annihilation, but he does get picked off in the end. Just too aggressive, out of position, not where you want to be, especially if you're the Xiao at this stage.
Breathing room secured for Nova. Not having Genmith for the next 25 seconds allows Nova to clear up this pesky Overlord and Vanguards marching through all 3 lanes. The next big fight that we need to pay attention will be this Shadow Tyrant. This will be a make or break for both of these teams. Check out the itemization here. ZanQ beating the gold leader here, almost working to his final item, potentially the Siege Breaker for that last.
Yeah, we were talking about the junglers, about like we need to watch them, like ZanQ, he's 0-2 and 4, Kongling is 0-3. I mean, they've just been focused, right? They've not been able to kind of pop off. Yes, they are still providing a lot of value to their team, but it just seems like both of these squads understanding what the junglers are bringing, and that's why they're constantly being focused and just having a rougher game than they normally would.
And Xuan is being silenced this entire game. Not a single good Razor Cavalry, but you have to imagine, it's because Ball can actively cancel out this 1v1 against the War Saint, and also Lanfeng has built-in protection against the Guan Yu here. So it's a very difficult game for Xuan's Guan Yu to actually find for these big backline picks.
Can we talk about Ball more? Because I think that this is the guy that is just completely impressed at the KIS. I mean, yes, it's only day 3, but man, they've played so well. The 3rd day in a row of just absolute highlight reel plays. Ball has stepped up more to the task than ever expected. He's just done so well, and why BIGETRON are doing what they're doing and fighting Nova Esports to the T. They're actually winning at this stage.
A 3,000 goal lead in favor, and Ball has a really smart build on towards the Mayin. He's not going for the traditional Axe of Torment into the full burst build. He's going for the tank build. You see the Frigid Charge, you see the Succubus Cloak, you see the Frostfire Embrace. He makes it so that his Mayin, the sole purpose is to zone off and CC lock some of these hyper mobility like Muchi, like Xuan.
Yeah. And Xuan has not been able to get away, right? The pullback, just constantly just slowing him down. He's been struggling, right? And this is like the perfect counter pick. And Ball has played this one phenomenally. He has not been tunnel vision with other heroes. He understands, again, his assignment of what he needs to do. And Xuan, Konglin, these are guys that he's been constantly focused on.
This is not going to be easy, right? If we do see BTR, this is the prime time for them to at least put some structural damage. Ball goes in, gets the kick on, but has to burn the flash. Doesn't find on towards anybody as of this point.
Yeah, I mean, just more of a zoning more than anything else. But the bottom T3, this is the target that they were wanting. And BIGETRON taking that. And Nova Esports, all they could do is watch. No real way to get any sort of initiation off.
Oh, you see ZhanQ just toying with his prey. Baiting Muji to use the Parasol to actually go in for the catch, but he has the added mobility to actually escape towards safety here. And with the Shadow Overlord spawn, we see more members being committed towards this Overlord pit here. A fight is about to break out.
Yeah, they're about to, I mean, they pushed them away. Nova Esports were like, okay, maybe we go for the steal, but even that is not even possible. The lanes have been pushing, they've been zoned away, but this is exactly how you want to win out games. But you have an advantage. You have heroes that are in the perfect spot to provide that vision. If somebody were to jump in, it's a suicide mission. BIGETRON playing this one perfectly.
Now they have to find the winning formula. Okay, you have the Overlord, you have the 4,000 goal lead. How do you convert this into a confirmed win? The crystal explosion of your enemy team. You need to play this systematically. We've seen Nova come back from situations like this, but can they hold on? Because BTR, very good performance thus far.
They've been playing very patiently, right? They're very diligent with how they push. Nobody's getting out of position. The way that they're slow sieging, this has got to be frustrating. There are no gaps for Nova Esports to kind of go back into this one. They need BIGETRON to make some mistakes so that they can come back.
It is, and with the minions coming in towards this tower right now, we see the top high ground being pressured here. One click of an Unbridled Outburst might put Nova Esports into despair, giving up the top tier tree, the final one in the mid lane.
Yeah, and not even using the Unbridled Outburst. It's more of a threat more than anything else. Lanfeng getting a little bit low himself, but this is perfect. The way that they siege that, I mean, he didn't even need to use it. F1 that is, in terms of using that Unbridled Outburst, but the potential for that stun is there, so Nova had to play scared.
They cannot gamble on the fact that, okay, does F1 hit or miss? If he hits, the game is over. So they have to voluntarily give away resources like this. And this Shadow Tyrant, it's not looking good as well. It's going freely to the hands of BTR, and Wendy cannot find the snipe.
Yeah, couldn't find it. He wanted to go for the emergence to Annihilation, but he needed to get a little bit of vision on it. Unfortunately, was not able to click his spells fast enough to do it because it was just too much damage from BIGETRON. But man, the way that they're playing, I mean, ZhanQ, he's 14.8. He doesn't have a single kill, but the way he's been able to farm, and now Xuan in a bad spot getting gone on here, like they have so much pressure and damage that Nova have to respect it.
And Nova respects it. They give away the mid-control Unbridled Outburst.
They find it. The Stampede is on point as well. They're going to dive the Crystal. They don't care. They understand. They have a huge advantage. But Lanfeng is going to be picked off. They find Wendy. Not the greatest of trades in that sense, but they get all the towers and F1 now looking to turn. Muchi went out, and now they look to go. And ZhanQ turning it up, getting all the kills, making a triple kill as they take game number 1.
IKL fans definitely will be going crazy after this, because what do you mean BTR drew first blood in the series against